William Morrow and HarperAudio present Devil's Coin, My Battle to Take Down the Notorious OneCoin Cryptoqueen by Jennifer McAdam. Read by Toni Frutin. To my dad, my hero, I miss and love you so much. I'm sorry. To my dear family, loved ones and friends, thank you so very much for your immense love, care and support, and for always being by my side. You never failed to bring me strength when I was feeling weak, thanks to your many kind and comforting words of encouragement, and the endless cups of tea and coffee. Every one of you knows who you are. I love you with all my heart. I am truly blessed. To the victims and those who help to support the victims worldwide, thank you for being brave and inspiring me to keep fighting for justice. Your strength of courage is as admirable as your bravery. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Edgar A. Guest, 1881 to 1959. Some of the names in my story have been changed and some dialogue has been recreated. I talk about a number of people who were involved in OneCoin, including as recruiters. While those at the top are facing justice, many of those who appear in the book will be innocent victims who couldn't know what they got into, just like me. As events are still evolving, the status of legal actions and law enforcement investigations are as they were in September 2022. The only thing real were the death threats. Jennifer McAdam, Glasgow, October 2022. The best laid schemes o' mice and men gang aft ugly, and lay us nowt but grief and pain for promised joy. Robert Burns, To a Mouse on Turning Her Up in Her Nest with a Plough, November 1785. Prologue. The Promise. The startling image of a bagpiper walking in front of my dad's hearse is freeze-framed in my mind. His body was cremated, and I felt his soul went into the sky all the faster. He loved life. He had so much spirit, and I promised to keep that alive with the help of the money he left me. In moments of distress, that memory of him being piped along on his final journey is my talisman, part of my inheritance. He was an old-school Scottish gentleman who never had a lot, but would give you the jacket off his back on a cold day. I never had to worry about him because he lived in a cul-de-sac 3 doors away from my sister, Adele. She was opposite, and every morning she'd watch for him to pull his blinds to know he was up and about. He'd been diagnosed with leukemia in 2000, but that hadn't changed his lifestyle. He was an early riser who liked to get out into the day, enjoy the world. He loved the open countryside and air, birds singing, and the freedom and wonders of nature. When Dad came to visit me, normally every other day, he'd arrive on his bicycle, come in the door and bellow, "Hello, lass, are you in?" He slowed up a little and wasn't so hearty in his voice a few years before he died, but his cheerful attitude never changed. He always entered whistling, something he did all the time in his final years. It drove my sister nuts, the constant whistling, but I liked it and always smiled to myself. He was at peace in his own wee world, and showed it. Dad would tinker about in my front and back gardens, and at the small hut at the very back of my garden, his favourite spot, where I would hear him whistling away with the birds. It was his happy place at my home. A couple of weeks before Christmas in 2014, I was in bed when my son ran into the house. "Papa's been rushed into the hospital. He's away."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?